The 17th century was a time of considerable change in Europe. Before this time, people's knowledge of the world either came from Greek or Roman authors or the Bible and the Church, and much of it was incorrect or misinterpreted. For instance, many people before the 17th century believed that the Earth was unmoving and located at the center of the universe, and that the stars were fixed in the sky. Although this knowledge was incorrect, it created a lot of comfort and reassurance for the people of that time, as much about the world and how it works was unknown. It isn't until the beginning of the scientific revolution when people started to view the world in a different way, and start becoming more open to asking questions. It was difficult for some people to accept at first, as some of the new discoveries contradicted their former beliefs, some in which derived from the Bible or the Church. Isaac Newton was a very intelligent person in the 17th century and made a great intellectual contribution to the world. Not only did he play a key role in the scientific revolution, but he made great discoveries that are still relevant in the world today. Isaac Newton was born on January 4, 1643 in Woolsthorpe, Lincolnshire, England. Although Isaac Newton becomes a renowned scientist later in his life, he actually had a really tough childhood. His father died 3 months before he was born, and so when he was 2 years old, his mother decided to remarry. Isaac did not like his stepfather, as he forced Isaac to live with his grandmother. Because of that, he was separated from his mother for 9 years. When he was 12, he was sent to live with a pharmacist named Clark, as he attended school away from home. It was here where Isaac began to have an interest in mechanical devices such as windmills and sundials. In 1661, he began to study at Cambridge University and would later be elected to join Trinity College in 1667. Around this time is when he began to write his Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, also known as the Principia, but it wasn't until 1687 that he published it. Some of Isaac Newton's major contributions to the world include his discovery on optics, mathematics, and physics. In the time of Isaac Newton, the word scientist did not exist, so he was called a natural philosopher, meaning that he searched for knowledge about the natural world. He would ask questions and find his answers through experimentation. In one experiment, Isaac uses a glass prism to see the refraction of light. From this, he discovers the color spectrum and that white light is a combination of all colors in the spectrum. This was a revolutionary discovery, as from this, he was also able to explain that the color of a surface is the reflection of that color of light. In addition, Isaac Newton is one of the founding fathers of calculus, as he discovered differentiation and integration in mathematics. Calculus is evidently an important subject, as many of us today are still learning and practicing it. Isaac Newton's most famous discovery would be his discovery of the laws of motion and the force of gravity. His laws of motion are, firstly, a body at rest will remain at rest, and a body in motion will remain in motion unless it is acted upon an external force. Secondly, force is equal to mass times acceleration. And thirdly, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Not only did these 3 laws help people of the 17th century understand the world a little bit better, but they are still taught today in any physics class. Newton is also considered one of the founding fathers of modern physics, as these laws are the fundamental rules in which all motion is based. As for the discovery of the force of gravity, most people have heard of the story about an apple falling on Newton's head, which leads him to discover the force of gravity, but historians speculate if that is true or not. However, it is true that he discovered the force of gravity, which he describes as the fundamental force controlling the motions of celestial bodies. From this discovery, he also discovered centripetal force and the relationship between force, distance, and time. If you look at any high school physics textbook, you will find that all of these topics are still taught and studied. Moreover, Isaac Newton also discovered the speed of sound waves through the density of the air, which again is another topic that is prominent in physics classrooms. Not only did Isaac Newton enjoy discovering new things about mathematics and science, but he also asked many humanistic questions. He was interested in pre-Socratic philosophy and the chronology of dates in the Bible and other religious texts. He even says in his work Principia, the most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. This shows that Isaac Newton not only contemplated the scientific aspect of life, but also the religious part. Furthermore, Isaac Newton was also knighted by Queen Anne of England in 1705, which is why he is commonly referred to as Sir Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was a revolutionary person in the 17th century, and his ideas and discoveries are still a prominent part of the scientific community today. Whether it's in mathematics or physics, Isaac Newton has played an essential role in uncovering the true knowledge about the world that we live in, which is why he is the most valuable person of the 17th century.